All right, let's get back to the Browns. We'll talk to Mary Kay Cabot in a second here.
We're going to bring Mary Kay in. A quick reminder that FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. You can tackle all of your NFL action on FanDuel. And right now, new customers can bet $5, get $250 in bonus bets if their first $5 bet wins. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to join today. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
All right, we bring in Mary Kay Cabot, Cleveland.com. Mary Kay, Merry Christmas. How are you? You got the tree going?
Yeah, I got the tree working.
You didn't fall down with the heels on the I think we were worried about that last week.
No, I stayed up on the ladder this time. You can see
Okay.
I got lights all the way up to the top, so I actually did a pretty good job this time. But Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of you, and it's great to be here.
How tall is that beast?
That was almost 9 feet, and then I had to cut the top of it off. But I have found that if I want it to be as full as I want it to, I have to go a little on the taller side and then just chop off some of the top.
You guys do real trees still?
Nice.
Is that a real tree? Really?
Of course, you gotta get the real.
I mean,
tree.
of course, dude.
What you mean, of course?
It's not like that common.
Yeah, a real tree is the way to go, Mary Kay.
I mean,
my Christmas is very important to me. It has been ever since I was little.
Do you have a tradition, like how you go find the tree? Is this like the Griswold family Christmas?
No, it's me like rushing somewhere, usually after work at 8:30 at night, and trying to find some kind of tree farm that's open.
God, you are a super mom. Rockstar.
Yeah,
she does it all.
See, I was picturing Mary Kay like going into the woods with an axe.
And chopping
down that tree.
Got the chainsaw, like
dragging it out of the woods, throwing it on top of the car, roping it down.
There you go. Just
Well, really quickly, I have to tell you a very, very quick story about this. I'll make it fast. I brought the first tree home, and I hated it. It wasn't big enough, and it wasn't full enough. And I told my husband, I was looking at it, and I was like, I can't do this tree. I hate it. It was in the stand. It was up. It was ready to go. And I was like, I can't do this tree. And he was like, okay, well, if you don't want this tree, then you're going to go to Ace Hardware, and you're going to buy the rope, and you're going to put the tree back up on top of the car, and you're going to drive it back out to Parma, and you're going to get the new tree. And that was what it was at night when he was a little tired and crabby. And then and I was like, okay. And then I woke up the next morning, and he had gone out and bought bungee cords to put the tree back up on top of the car. He bought me a breakfast sandwich. He hit the reset button, and he was Mr. Christmas. And,
very charming.
Trophy husband.
Hey man,
That was
all, man.
That was a good bounce back by
him. He making us look bad. I'd have been like, I bought me a sandwich.
You better call one of your girlfriends.
I bought me breakfast, and I'm gonna watch you put that on it. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Shout out to you, wife.
That was a fourth quarter comeback by him.
Shout out to him, man.
Mary Kay, let's jump to your conversation with Myles Garrett, of course, who talked about the fact, obviously he wants to stay here. That's clear. He bought a minority stake in the Cavs. He wants to be here, but he don't want to lose. He doesn't want to be Joe Thomas and never go to the playoffs. I mean, he has gone to the playoffs, but he's only won one playoff game, and so he wants to see a plan. I don't know what plan the Browns can show him right now, because it's going to be hard for them to turn this around. What's your overall thoughts on what Myles had to say and what the Browns have to do now?
Well, first of all, Myles means business. He is not messing around with this. Yep. This just wasn't empty rhetoric. He really means it. He wants to see a blueprint for winning and winning now. This doesn't mean 2 years from now, 3 years from now. He wants to be able to come back in 2025 and say, we are trying to get to the Super Bowl. If you can't say that as a football team, then there's only really one other alternative, and that's that you're like tanking or whatever. There's really not a whole lot in between. You're either trying to win it all or you're not. And he wants to know that that's what the deal is. And Jason and I kicked this around on Channel 3 a little bit last night. And I think we feel a little bit differently about it. But I really do believe in my heart of hearts that if the Browns can get a few key pieces, and I know it's not just the quarterback, but if they can get a few key pieces, I think they can turn it around next year. The key, of course, is finding that quarterback. Now, you can look at the draft, you can look in a trade, you can look in free agency, but some way, somehow, you have to find a quarterback who can come in and win, and at least at least not turn the ball over 3 times a game. I mean, that's huge. If Jameis Winston had continued to throw for more than 300 yards a game, and didn't throw the ball to the other team 2 and 3 times a game, they might have been something there, right?
Yeah.
But you have to have a quarterback that can play good, clean football for you, paired with what I think is still a pretty good defense. And I think they can get back on track next year if they can find the QB.
Yeah, we do disagree on that because I just don't think that there's that guy out there. I don't. To me, you have to find it through the draft. You can find a stopgap guy who can win you some games. I don't know who that guy is that they can go get right now who can make them legitimate actual Super Bowl contenders. You can fool fans into thinking that. You can't fool Myles Garrett into thinking that. And that's, to me, the difference. I don't know who they can get that Myles would look at and say, all right, like I don't know that Kirk Cousins sells him on, yeah, we can go to the Super Bowl, or someone else out there. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see that guy. I think this is a long process to find the quarterback.
Well, the reason why I say what I'm saying is the fact that I think it's so much easier to find a quarterback who can get you there now than it was 10 years ago. So many dual threat quarterbacks have come up out of the college ranks and been plugged right in, and off they go. The systems are different. The schemes are different. It used to be you had to go find an Andrew Luck or a Peyton Manning or somebody amazing like that and go win Super Bowls, or even a Tom Brady. Now, you can bring up a lot of these good, young, dual threat athletic quarterbacks, plug them in, and go. And I think you're seeing that this year with Bo Nix in Denver, of course, with Jaden Daniels in Washington, which is the most extreme example. But now, in any given year, there will be maybe 5-6 good quarterbacks that come out of the college ranks, and it didn't used to be that way. So that's one of the reasons why I think they can do it. And then I think they must have some tricks up their sleeves, too, amongst the veteran ranks. Now, not Kirk Cousins. I wouldn't go there. I just don't think that you can sell that right now. But if there were some way that they could get their hands on someone in that second tier, such as the Sam Darnolds. I mean, remember when everyone thought Sam Darnold was washed up, Jared Goff was washed up, Baker Mayfield was washed up. Now you can take these guys and put them in schemes where they can be successful. So I don't think that we're talking about 2015, 2016 quarterback situation. I think we're talking 2025, and I believe you can find one.
Okay, the job status of Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, are they tied together? I mean, could you see a scenario where one is here and one is not?
I don't necessarily think they're tied together. I mean, they are in alignment for sure. And the vibe that I'm getting is that both will be back and all is going to be well in that regard. But I do think that what if Kevin Stefanski sat in exit meetings with Jimmy Haslam and the two didn't see eye to eye on something? I don't think that necessarily would mean that Jimmy would have to make a change in both departments. So, no, I don't think they are joined at the hip. I think you can do something with one or the other, neither or both.
Man, this is crazy. I'm going to say this, Mary Kay. This is nuts. But I'm slowly, as we look at these quarterback rooms, and I think the Browns got one of the worst quarterback rooms right now moving. We saw what we had in DTR, and it's nothing. I'm out on DTR. I feel like he has some maturing to do. But there's some names that I never thought I would say. I'm gonna give you 3 of them, and you just say what you just say what's come to the top of your mind. Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins. Go.
Well, I have been intrigued by the Justin Fields idea for a while here. It seems to me that this current Browns regime really favors the athletic dual threat quarterback in the ilk of a Justin Fields. So he's somebody that I would give a thumbs up to right now. Kirk Cousins, maybe not. I want to go back and watch the Kirk Cousins film from the last how many ever weeks when he kind of went into the tank and see what actually happened there and do some due diligence and sort of find out what the deal is with Kirk Cousins, because we know that Kevin Stefanski coached him to great success in Minnesota. Is there anything left in the tank? I'm not sure yet. I would still have to look into that. Same thing with Daniel Jones. I'd have to ask around, figure it out. But I mean, if Brian Daboll can't get enough out of Daniel Jones, then I don't really necessarily know who can. They're looking for an upgrade at the quarterback position. That's what we know. So if it's not going to be an upgrade over what they have had, then I don't think they're going to go down that road. So I'm going to say for right now, maybe no on the other two. But who knows? Maybe Russ Wilson becomes available. Maybe Justin Fields does become available. Maybe you can find a way to get your hands on a Sam Darnold or a J.J. McCarthy. I have no idea who's going to be available yet, and no one really does. I mean, if you decide that you're going to maybe trade for a quarterback, someone who is absolutely not available right now could become available to you. And I think they have to have a plan. They must know something that we don't. There's got to be something up their sleeve.
Mary Kay, in terms of quarterback this week, DTR is banged up. I mean, I agree with G. I don't see anything there, but do they have a plan at quarterback yet? Is he going to play? If he doesn't, is it going to be Bailey Zappi?
It almost seems like DTR is going to play. I asked him after the game about the calf, and he basically said, I don't care whatever it takes, I'm going to get out there and play. But the Browns will have to evaluate that. If he's in harm's way, and a lot of his game, of course, is scrambling, running, spinning, if he can't do all of that, then I don't know if they will put him out there. So we will know more on Thursday. We're not out there today when they just had a walkthrough. We're not out there tomorrow on Christmas Day. The next time we see these guys will be Thursday afternoon, and then we'll have a really good idea of what's going on. But, of course, Jameis Winston is banged up too, and I don't know if he's ready to be the backup. I actually think they're done with Jameis Winston for the year. I don't think they're putting Jameis Winston in a football game again this year, or probably ever in a Browns uniform. I think that ship has sailed. Yeah. So I think it'll probably be DTR and Bailey Zappi again, and I think we're heading to the point where we might see some Bailey.
Oh, yeah. Mary Kay, thanks. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will see you next year or next week.
No, she got time. Next week? Yeah.
Next week. We'll see you later. Bye, Mary Kay. Thank you.
Take care. Happy holidays.
Bye.